So I'd like to get started. Like Gary said, this is our fourth, I think our fourth gathering, and mainly these gatherings have occurred because of the GMS decree that was entered in 2005. Prior to the decree, you know, everybody was pumping, paying your assessments. Everything was just fine and dandy. But now we want to make sure that we're disseminating information to the members, and this is the best way to do it, we feel. So today, I'm gonna speak along with Ruth Ann and Danielle McCannon. So we're gonna talk about the water year, what happened last year, some figures. Ruth Ann will get into that. Danielle's gonna get into the operating budget, cash flow, kind of give you guys an idea what's gonna happen in the next 5 years. I know that's real important for planning, kind of gives you an idea. Where are we going? Are we going to continue at 20-30% quotas? Do we have the money? That kind of thing. Along with that, new projects. If we're not continuing to build and enhance this plan, we're going to be staying at those low quotas. So the board's been working really pretty hard. You got to give a lot of credit to Gary Herman to setting up a committee process where we're working on evaluating projects, thinking them through very well. If they're not ready to go to the board yet, we come back the next month, get some questions answered. So it's been a very thorough process. And of course, metering. You see the meter on this irrigation well. We're all familiar with the meters, and we don't all like them, but that's something we have to deal with. Then again, legal and engineering. We'll have Andy Jones speak on that behalf. So to refresh you, the GMS. Where is GMS located? I think a lot of you know, down here is the Denver metro area. The South Platte travels up through what we call Reach F. Comes up here to Greeley where we are. The South Platte River travels to the east of Fort Morgan. This is the main stem of the river. Reach D is considered the BB Seep, where Bar Lake and Latham Lake reside. This long skinny purple one is Box Elder Creek. A lot of you are familiar with that. So you can see there's a good distribution of irrigation wells throughout the entire district. Reach A, there's a cluster of wells over here we call Bijou Hill, where there's a lot of alluvial material. There's a lot of good wells in that location too. So some history again, 2004 to the current, 2004 and back to the date that you drilled your well, we were pumping 100%, whatever you wanted. 2005, the decree came into place. The board of directors felt it was probably smart, allocate a 50% quota to make sure that we still weren't quite sure how the rules were going to roll out in the decree. So we reduced the quota to 50%. I think a lot of you remember that we were doing satellite imagery and looking at cutting back on acres. We didn't have flow meters on everybody's well, and we had a lot of equity issues that we were working on. 2006 was a lot of the same. By 2007, we really had a good understanding on how the projection tool was going to operate, and we wanted to be conservative, and we always wanted to give you guys something to plan with, you know. So in late winter, early spring, we allocate this 15% quota in 2007 and 18% quota in 2008, and you got a letter this year, 20% in 2009. We want to make sure that you got a base quota to operate upon, and as new water sources come alive, leases come to play, we get precip, snowpack increases, then our engineering staff feels more comfortable to make this increase throughout the season. So I hope that's been helpful for everybody. We like to be conservative so that we're not stretching ourselves out. The big thing that we got to take in consideration is augmentation well pumping. Augmentation well pumping is kind of our insurance plan. And we only want to allocate so much pumping. Our decree allows us to pump tens of thousands of acre feet of aug wells, but that's like using a credit card. We don't want to extend that debt because we're going to have to pay it back at some point. So the board's been very conservative, and it's been paying off. We're seeing that our post-pumping depletions are starting to tail off, which is a good thing. That's what's allowing us to have these types of quotas.